Hello, I'm BMillzebub and welcome to my channel. In just a few minutes, I'm heading over to a local church that's holding a Judgement House. And for anyone who's not familiar, Judgement Houses are also called Hell Houses. The object of these things is to give people some idea of what hell will be like for people who commit different sins. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain kids are usually the target of these things. Perhaps not small children, but I'd argue that teenagers may not be mentally prepared to see these things either. Although I am actually kind of expecting this one to be pretty tame. I mean, it's a fairly small church in a not very big city. But we'll find out soon enough. Okay, so I've given it some thought overnight, and I'm back fresh to talk about the Judgement House with a more clear head. Sadly, I didn't get any video. Considering that most of the actors were underage, I didn't feel like it would have been appropriate to take any video and upload it on here. So the narrative to the play was that out of the four main characters, three of them, actually two of them, died from drug overdose, and one of them died from suicide afterwards because they felt guilty. But to tell the story, we went from room to room because there were different settings and it was just easier that way. The actors playing the roles in the first actual scene, after, we're introduced to the characters at the morgue, looked like they were, about 16, 18, that kind of age right there. Maybe not necessarily children, but the idea that people as young as them were a part of this made me feel kind of uncomfortable. But I noticed the further into the play we got, the younger the actors got as well. Until finally we are walking we're walking through what's meant to be the bowels of hell. And the actors there, it was so dark I couldn't really see them very well, but I could hear their voices clearly enough, and by the sound of them, they were very little children. Just going off the sound of their voices, I'd say the oldest among them was about 7. I went into this prepared for quite a few things. I'd seen some videos of these on YouTube, and from what I saw, these actors were all adults, and children seemed to be the target audience. But what I saw was children as the actors, with what I can only assume were proud parents as the target audience. I mean, I was literally in the first group to go through, so, the viewership could have changed over time, but, that's neither here nor there. But there was one point where I almost had to call bullshit out loud, but if I had, I likely would have been thrown out and not gotten to see it all the way through, so I kind of kept my mouth shut until I left. But at one point they said that the family was falling apart and 1 in 3 spouses is cheating on the other. I'm not sure where they got that number, but that sounds kind of like a gross overestimation to me. The thing that really dug at me, though, was when they said that prayer was illegal in schools. I'm going to clear the air on this one right now. Prayer is not illegal in schools. Administrators, teachers, and staff can't force anyone to pray, true, but if a student wants to pray on their own or in a student-led group, that's perfectly legal. I did it when I was in high school, and no one said a word to me about it. Now, I don't completely blame the actor for this. They were just reading a line. They definitely deserve some of the blame, though, because this is something that's easily looked up and verified as false. Most of the blame, I think, is with whoever wrote the script, though. Because, like I just said, it's very easily verified as being false. But immediately after leaving hell, we went to heaven, where everyone got this white sash thing. Not to keep, but, you know, that was a thing. With exception of the guy playing the role of Jesus and one of the kids who died after accepting Jesus, all of the actors were very, very little children. 4 and 5 years old, if I had to take a guess, just by taking a look at them. But as soon as it was all over, I just got the hell out of there. I was pretty furious with what I had seen. Having children play the roles they did in that play, and the fact that the more depraved it got from my point of view, the younger the actors got as well, was just disgusting to me. Don't get me wrong, I think the story they told and the way they told it was fairly tame compared to what I'd seen on YouTube, but in those cases, the actors were all grown adults. People who would be more mentally well prepared to deal with some of the scenes displayed. I mean, come on, one of the scenes showed a couple of the kids dying. One of them, by the way, was laying in a pool of what was apparently meant to be their own vomit. I mean, tell me that a young kid is really prepared for something like that. It's much more understandable for movies and TV shows where kids have adults around them to tell them it's okay because none of it's real, and they have someone, a professional, to talk to if whatever they're portraying gets to be too much. But in this case, the idea is that it is real, and eternal torment is a real consequence of not accepting Jesus into your life. I really did find the whole thing, the whole display, to just be sickening. But those are my thoughts. I want to hear from you, though. After hearing my description of what I saw, what are your opinions on Judgment or Hell Houses? Let me know in the comments section down below. That'll do it for this video, though. If you enjoyed it, please leave it a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, linked below, to keep up with all my comings and goings. Take it easy, everyone, and I will see you all in the next one.